morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I'm Yori Folarin. Just, in case you wanted to know, it is drizzling in Lagos, southwest of the country, where we're broadcasting from. Might be sunny wherever you are at. Did I just say wherever you are at? When did I, Asuko James, who is, my colleague, and we're on this together, when did I become an American and all these Americanisms? Where you are at. Anyway, good to have you on, Asuko.
Thank you so much.
Asuko is, one of our editors, and he in particular, one of the main things he does is he sort of makes sure this particular person or this particular team is at this particular event. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there you go. So Ekiti is also, Ekiti on our mind. Ekiti was just yesterday, neighbor to Osun. But the APC primaries are holding today. Exactly. And that's from yesterday. What, we were ready for it. I'm sure you were ready by way of, assignment, placement, and all of that. You were ready for it yesterday. Then we heard the news that it's going to be today. Now, we know that the bone of contention is that, no, I shouldn't say it like that, not bone of contention. I know that there are many saying that, no, we don't want this direct method, indirect is what is preferable. Are you surprised about that? Because usually politicians say that for transparency, let every person vote, let it be clear to everybody. The indirect method has always been criticized that, look, there's much room for people arranging things. So were you surprised that this time the argument seems to be direct method? We don't like it. What's going on in your mind?
Well, I don't know why the APC decided to go on with the direct primary, but maybe it's like, how will I put it, a breath of fresh air, since they now have a national chairman. There's a new national chairman.
I was going to say they've always had a chairman.
A new national chairman, Adams Oshomole, with his team. So he's trying to bring in new methods, and this new one, which is the direct primaries, is going to give everybody who is a member of the party a little bit of a sense of belonging, for you to own your own party, elect your own person right from the ward, then you go to the local government, then from there you have a candidate. So that nobody is left out of the whole process, the entire process.
So you would have thought that it would be embraced vigorously, but there are still voices of
definitely. There is nothing that is foolproof in Nigeria. People will always complain. People will always say this or that. Like yesterday, we were supposed to have the primary, and then they moved it to today. There were already political calculations. Why is this one doing his own first, and why is this other person doing, later, and all that? But even at that, this direct primary coming from the ruling party, this is the first time it's happening. And the direct primary is very, very cumbersome because you have to deploy so many things. Monies will have to go out in terms of logistics, trying to cater for logistics. Because if you look at it, the police have to be around where the wards, where they will be carrying out the election. The local government, where the results will be announced, and then the state.
I see what you mean about it being cumbersome.
So it's cumbersome. Then the vans, so many things.
But most importantly, perhaps, according to those who are directly affected by this, is the register. Before we can do this, we need to have a sort of a register. We'll come back and continue on that point because Ayodele Ozubakun, our man, is our political editor, is on the scene, on the ground there in Osun. Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning, Yori.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
What's the state of preparedness from the postponement of yesterday, the APC primaries, to today, and the whole argument, or shall we say conversation, let's not say argument, the whole conversation about direct as to indirect primaries?
Okay, Yori, I think they've gone past that stage of maybe it's going to be direct or indirect primary, since the National Working Committee has already endorsed that. So what they want to do is direct primaries, and that will take place in all the polling units.
Is everybody happy with that? Is everybody in APC happy with that, as far as you can tell?
No, they're not all happy. They're not all happy. Some of the aspirants are not happy, but some are saying anyhow it goes, they're ready. That if it's a measure for them to test their popularity, that they are ready. And what we have here is that the former the present SSG, that's Alhaji Adeoti, we gathered earlier that he has withdrawn from the race. I think maybe in protest. And Governor Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State was the one that was meant to be the chairman of the election committee. But curiously, we did not see Abdulaziz Yari yesterday. Ove Omakeke, the senator representing Delta State, actually stood in on his behalf and spoke with the aspirants yesterday, and was able to assure them that the election was going to be free and fair. And at about 8 a.m. this morning, we discovered that at the APC Secretariat, voting materials were just leaving the Secretariat to their different destinations. So what we anticipate is that it might not start 8 a.m. in most of the units we have. They have the voting material just going to their destination right now this morning. As I'm talking to you, I think they're almost done with that now, dispatching of that voting material. So,
Ayos, Azuko and I were together in studio here, and Azuko was just talking about the cumbersome nature of primaries, direct primaries. What can you say about that? How well they're meeting that particular challenge? Or had this been known long enough for them to have taken care of all those variables?
I think it has to do with planning. It's not cumbersome, so to say. But what we were looking at here is the timing. The timing, because it was decided by the NWC earlier this week. If the stakeholders, if they had known that this is what they are up against, up to in the last 2-3 months, they would have prepared their minds, and they expect maybe the register would have been published 7 days before this election. But what the aspirants are saying that the timing and everything might just be too short. But ultimately, moving forward, when you look at the advantage of this direct primaries is to avoid a situation whereby you hijack some set of delegates, you give them money, and you camp them in somewhere, and it's going to go to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
But this situation, we have over 300,000 people that will determine, this 340,000 people that will determine the fate of who is going to fly the party's ticket. And for that, it's a popular thing. It's just a matter of how popular you are. Come out and let's see the most popular person. It's not possible. It's almost impossible to reach out to 340,000 people trying to bribe them. It's going to be in the region.
As you're saying, this is a no-brainer. It stands up to reason that what you're saying is the way it is. But this is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that APC has deployed this particular method, at least in recent memory.
Yes. In Article 20 of APC's constitution, it has always been there.
Yeah.
Direct and indirect. It has always been there. So talking about legality, it's because they've never exploited this possibility. But I think from the fallout of what happened in Ekiti State, a particular aspirant actually confided in somebody close to me, and he told me that to prosecute that particular primary, he spent over 1.6 billion naira in reaching out to 3,800 delegates. And those delegates, some of them got as much as 200,000 naira from per aspirant. Already, they got information that if it goes on delegate primaries for Osun State, a particular aspirant was boasting to some of his colleagues that he was ready to give as much as 750,000 naira per delegate. And it's a situation will be, it's a situation whereby it's going to be strictly to go to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
So that's what I think, in my knowledge, the APC leaders are trying to avoid here. That test your popularity, go to the field across all the local governments. Let people, card-carrying members of the party, and let them decide your fate. And the Social Democratic Party in the state actually adopted this pattern. It was a direct primary. And somebody like Ayebusi was able to beat the big wig, Ambassador Bekile, in that primary. The same system was adopted, direct primary, by the Social Democratic Party here in Osun State. That actually produced Senator Iola Omishore. I think it's something that other political parties they might want to follow ahead of the 2019 election. But
how about the register? You talked about duly registered. How about the register? I read somewhere that it is an issue. The register needs to be published. Everybody needs to see it ahead of time. That is a part of it, isn't it?
Yes, that should be part of. That is a part of it. And that's why some aspirants are actually complaining that they've not seen the register. They don't know what the register looks like and everything. And that process, they might not have faith in that process if they can't access the register to see. Maybe it's a doctored register. Maybe there are some people that are meant to be there. They're not. They're left out. And I don't think the All Progressive Congress they have a database, that's an updated database of the number of party members that they have, Jory.
Well, okay, so we'll leave that point, as it were, hanging there. But from your standpoint, Ayo, you're on the ground there. APC is ready to indeed make it this second time around from the postponement of yesterday.
Definitely, today is the primaries today, and we expect that later today.
That gives you a clear picture that this time we will really be able to strike it.
Exactly. This is the first time it's happening, and I know that so many people will be really, really interested in this direct primary, because I know that other political parties have taken a cue by doing the indirect primary. And then it's only the Social Democratic Party that have been able to, go ahead with the direct primary, which they used during the Ekiti, and they are now using it again. So if the APC is taking a cue, because it's already in their own constitution, that, okay, they should try the direct primary.
Both options are there.
They are there, both options. So if they are trying the direct primaries, I think it's going to give all their members, a little bit of sense of belonging that, okay, I'm part and parcel of this, this party.
Let's check that out, because I also earlier spoke with some stakeholders, some aspirants. Let's see what they think.
Our party have been used to the delegate system, and now that the directs have been introduced, we don't know what informed that, although we have it in the constitution of the party, but none of the states that have already, conducted their governorship elections use the direct primary as a method of selecting their candidate. It looks new, it is a new thing, but that doesn't stop me from emerge as the governor, the candidate, whenever the party choose.
What they are doing is that now they are saying that we should all go to the general populace. I don't have any problem with that. But one, there are certain things that you must conform to, you must comply with. What are these? One, the membership register that will be used to conduct the election must be made known to everybody. Now, the position of the law is that a voters register that will be used for an election must be displayed ahead of time.
For the primary, be it direct or otherwise. Thank God, we've been told that it's direct. I've been going around for not less than 4 or 5 months now. Intensive campaign, with a lot of glamour, entertainment, and selling our brand, Ileri Oluwa.
Okay, just a few clips there, hearing from the aspirants themselves. Those that were, I won't say exactly dissatisfied with it, but again, you know how there will be analysts and reading between the lines. There are those who, will just have their say on anything, and some of the ideas floating around is that, well, APC has come up with this to favor a particular candidate. And
aspirants.
sorry, yes, indeed, yeah, correcting. Aspirants. And Ogweni Aregbe's chief of staff, who I think is also in the race, there are those, when you have that kind of a thing, there are those who are saying that perhaps this whole thing has been skewed to favor him. But you can't beat the logic that, look, everybody has just one vote. If you're a member of APC, you have a stake in this, and you come and register how you feel about it.
Yeah, yes, it's good that they are all bringing out these complaints, But But the thing is it's going to be very difficult for anybody to, say they've not been given a level playing field. The only minus there is not giving out the registers 7 days before the time. That is just the only, fault in this process. But in terms of, I know yesterday I was listening to one of the aspirants. He said he has been able to go to all the wards, all the polling units, and he has agents in virtually all the wards. That is one aspirant. Mm-hmm. So if anybody thinks that, okay, I want to be the governor of a particular state, or I want to aspire, I want to believe the person is supposed to have gone to all the wards, meet with his own members in all the wards, and then galvanize people that will vote for him tomorrow, or today, sorry. So if the APC have been able to, come up with a fair, I want to call it fair. I won't give them 100% for now, because there are complaints already, and I don't want to believe that any of them would, say,
it's a difficult thing. APC finds itself between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly, because if you look at it, I don't want a situation whereby at the end of the day, people will say, oh, we want to take them to court and all that. They've given them the opportunity to meet the people, talk to the people, canvass for votes, and the party at the central want to believe that you should have gone to all the wards, to talk to people. Because I know most of them...
Was that time adequate? Because as we were hearing, if we had known this was the way it was going to be 3 months ago, for instance, our preparation would have been...
No. If I want to aspire to be governor, I would have started way back and allowed my people...
1 second, please. We'll come back in. Yakub is on the line. Yakub, what do you think?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Atuko.
Yeah, good morning.
I really love what Atuko just said now. This is the best option ever that the political party should be using. You know why? Some of the candidates have complained that, assuming they know it earlier than now, they could have gone to their ward campaign all the way from every corner of the state. See, you want to be governor of a state. What stops you not to go direct to the people that want to govern us? Now that you believe that you have the money to buy delegates, because they know before they use the delegate power, and then they use money to buy all these delegates. Assuming, as people just said it earlier, some people pay all 250,000 naira for delegates. Now that the APC wants to use this direct primary, go on now, go and start paying 700 naira to almost 300,000 people, so that we know how much we are going to pay. You see, it is going to be very good for people that really wanted to govern the state, because it will know to people, now if you go to the power and then aim of ourselves that state, if you do not, the people will not come in after you that come. We have it takes in this government, because we voted you in to become our governor. But a station whereby you pay money, and then at the end of the day, if you didn't do anything, who is going to call you other that, after all, I've given you money? Are you getting it, sir? It is very good, and that is the best option ever. Thank you, and God bless.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much.
I think it's just a master stroke coming from the National Working Committee, because I know so many...
And under the new chairmanship.
Yeah, exactly, because so many of them would have thought, okay, it's going to be an indirect primary whereby people will be able to, get delegates, scam them, give them money, feed them, and at the end of the day, they vote for them and they become candidates. So that is over. That should be over from now, because the direct primaries is go to the wards, talk to the people, converse, tell the people what you would do for them. Because once you tell people that is where, if another person comes and they are convinced, they will vote for you.
Indeed.
But right now, this direct primary has really, I would like to cut the tail of so many tigers, because if you look at it, most of them are really angry. Some of them are angry inside. It would have been indirect primaries.
Okay.
But
let's hear from Jide in Oshogbo on the phone. Good morning, Jide.
Hello?
Jide in Oshogbo, good morning. Go ahead, hello. Jide. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Good morning.
Very well, sir. Speak. Go ahead, please.
Hello? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I see the direct primary the direct primary is supposed to be the most way. But I suspect it's not clear. The most critical aspect of that direct primary is the testing of the legislative register to the extent. This was not done. So from this process,
Jide, I'm sorry, the line is bad, but I just managing to hear something. I think you spoke about the display of the register. It's something of an issue. Is there someone else on the line from Oshogo? Okay.
Yeah, well, apart from that, because that is just the only snag in the whole process, you know, not displaying the register 7 days before the you know, process. But we want to see, I want to see how it will pan out, because now people are beginning to, you know, be aware. You know, the joy in these direct primaries, to me, is that if somebody is able to go around his state for a very long time, a long period, and he becomes the candidate, even his own job of, you know, canvassing for votes when the real thing, the real battle comes, it becomes easier. You know, that is just the joy. So for people to now say, they wanted indirect primaries, when once you bring people, you just maybe one person or a few set of people, you give them money, you give them food, you give them hotel, you know, for them to stay and take care of them. You now have to spend extra money to go back to each ward and community and start spending money. But with this one, it brings you closer to the people that once you have even agents in that particular unit, it makes your work easier.
Everest in Kaduna, good morning.
Katsina.
In Katsina. Sorry about that. Good morning.
Uncle Yoli, it's my pleasure.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. It's been a long time trying to get you people online.
We're happy you made it now.
Thank God for that. Well, to put our so-called in the right direction, direct primary is easy way to rig election.
How do you mean?
How do you mean?
Thank you. The governor have all the structure, local government down to the council. Who are those in party structure? If not governor, chairman of the local government, House of Assembly, House of Rep, senator, and councillors. Who control all of them? Governor. If you're a senator, you're not good time with your governor, he shuts you down. If you're a House of Rep, you're not in good time with your governor, he shuts you off. If you're a House of Assembly, you're not governor, you can easily be removed or bench you. If you're a chairman of a local government and you did not deliver your local government, you face the governor.
So you would have preferred, you know, the indirect method as a fairer method. Do I get that? Am I correct there?
Yeah, let me explain better for you. It's not that hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's not that indirect primary is the best, but Nigeria as a country or the policy in this called Nigeria is not matured and transparent enough to you to carry on indirect primary. Governor is a god with a small letter G. If you like it, you believe it. If you don't like it, you can keep it. I will tell you something. At the end of the day, and the Rahu Azabosala candidate did not emerge, then I will never watch TV again if they carry on direct primary. Although I'm not an APC member, but I'm just telling you the reality. I know the politics.
You know, staying with you for a wee moment, isn't the direct method as close to a general election as possible? And couldn't what you are saying...
Come again, I didn't get you right. I
say this direct method, isn't it as close as possible to a general election, where you would never canvass that there should go and be some block somewhere that will come and represent the people?
No. That is not what I mean.
I know that's not what you mean. I'm saying that I'm surprised that you're against it, since you wouldn't argue against it for general elections.
Yeah, me, for now, I will be against it, both now and general election. The timing. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
The timing is all about the things surrounding this direct primary.
Okay, all right, I get you.
If they want to carry on direct primary, there are some people that have left APC in Osun State, and their name is still in that register. I can import PDP member, and they will vote for any candidate of my choice as a governor. I will give all the whole council chairman order. Return me a local government, or you have me to contend.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for calling in, Everest. Really appreciate your perspective.
Let me
Sure.
let me clear the air on that. Now, the thing is, the governor, from what I heard, has a candidate. Other powerful people also have candidates. And like I said, if you want to, even if the governor has a structure and you want to be, you might not even ride on the, it's just like Lagos. I know of Justice, the Justice Group and so many other groups, that are in Lagos. And all the political, all the power blocks, they have a say in Lagos. And it's everywhere across Nigeria. So even if you say that, oh, the governor has a structure, other people also have structures. Even if you want to be a governor, you must have your structures everywhere in the states. It shouldn't be just allowing the governor to, hold sway and begin to, you must have structures everywhere. If the governor says, okay, he wants to give your structure to a particular person, you that is also aspiring must also have structures everywhere. You shouldn't sit down and say, at least battle is a battle. You must go all out and also fight for your own, if you want to be a governor. You shouldn't just say, the governor is going to bring. That is why I'm saying the direct primary, just like you said, is as close to the general election. Everybody is going to come. The only snag is that they didn't allow people to see the register.
Exactly.
That is
and it's the point that Everest brought up.
If you are saying that it is not, is prone to what is it called?
Manipulation.
It will be very difficult because these are only for card-carrying members of APC.
Okay.
And if it's in my unit, if for instance, I'm in my unit, I know the people that are in my ward. I know the people that are paying dues in that particular political, in my party. So I would not allow somebody from another ward to come and vote or somebody I don't know. Because everybody would, if the person's name is not in my register that pays dues, I'll raise alarm.
Okay, Asukwa James, I'm going to thank you very much, editor in TVC, for keeping an eye on this and also sharing your perspectives with us.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'll leave this particular section for the moment. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere, please. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. And my guest this time is Professor Tunde Samuel, APC chieftain in Lagos. Thank you very much for coming on, Prof. Again.
Nice having me.
Indeed. First of all, we want to talk about restructuring in the sense that it's reared its head again, and I know you have a particular perspective on the whole question of restructuring altogether. But for the moment, just staying in Osun, what do you think of the conversation, the ongoing conversation? Those saying that, yeah, it sounds like the most democratic approach, but there are pitfalls. For instance, the register should have been displayed. We don't know how good that register is, in terms of, as you might have heard when you came into studio, somebody was complaining that, look, there are people who have left that might still be on the register and so on and so forth. What do you think about the whole conversation generally on the better method, direct or indirect, even though APC is allowed to go with anyone according to its constitution?
First and foremost, I don't see anything wrong with the direct exercise. My only problem has to do with honesty of purpose. All eligible voters must be made to see the register.
You should be allowed to see it, check it out.
Yes. That removes doubt, the loss of confidence, what have you, in the electoral process. But as long as we keep the register under lock and key,
so to speak,
or in secrecy, people will start thinking otherwise, that we are not sincere.
And so this sincerity of purpose aspect that you bring up, I would just default to the reasonable and say that APC is sincere. It's trying to democratize this exercise as much as possible, but it's a legitimate point you bring up that it still lays itself open if the register was not displayed in the good time, I think 7 days before. If that has not been done, then why do you think they still went ahead in spite of that risk of being misunderstood?
I don't think APC as a party has a problem with direct exercise, because we have existing mechanism to resolve issues within the party. And I don't want to overblow the issue. Sooner or later we'll get over it. But all I'm saying is that as long as we demonstrate absolute sincerity within our rank and file, we have no problem.
The primary should have happened yesterday, but was postponed to today. Is there any aspect there that might lend credence to the matter of, look, what's going on here? Why couldn't we just do this thing when we're supposed to do it? Why are you postponing? And therefore, going back to the whole sincerity of purpose.
They have to tidy up. I don't want to speculate, but I'm of the opinion that one or two flaws here and there probably might have been responsible for the shift yesterday to today.
And they need to tidy up.
They need to tidy up, yes.
Okay, we'll leave that. The event is today, and you know, everybody keeping their fingers crossed that everybody will be happy and perhaps satisfied at the end of the day that everybody has his chance. Every card-carrying member of APC,
of course.
Duly registered, will you know, have his way. Okay, we'll leave that for the moment. The other thing, Prof, is the national political conversation. It comes up at a certain time, then goes down at a certain time. And now I'm talking about the whole matter of restructuring and the popularity of it. It flared up, if I can use that expression, I think last week or so, when groups of elders from, you know, different parts of the country are suddenly coming up again now to say that, look, we need to discuss this among ourselves. It is the only hope for Nigeria. It is the only hope for fairness. You know, how are we going to live together and all those kind of things. And Prof, one of the reasons why I wanted to speak with you is that I know that's not necessarily your point of view at all. The fact that in fact, you are saying, why is the whole conversation on restructuring coming up? Am I right?
That was my position at the national conference
Yes.
in 2014. My question is, why restructuring? If we're not careful, when we talk of restructuring, are we saying we want to panabit the Federal Republic of Nigeria without losing its identity? Because to me, that was initially my reason for not buying the idea. My second reason has to do with why restructuring? And my answer to that is this, and I said it at the closing session of the National Conference in 2014, that because we have refused to practice true federalism, that is the kernel of the matter. Yes. Because if we have been practicing true federalism, what we are doing is what I can call tainted federalism. Our type of federalism is already tainted.
In fact, there are those that go as far as saying that there is no federalism.
Now, and I said it at the closing session in 2014 at the conference, that true federalism all over the world, in the United States, in Australia, in Canada, all federations in the world, federalism is anchored on two pillars. The melting pot, the first pillar, and the salad bowl. The melting pot ipso facto stipulates that all the 36 states of the Federation and the 800 plus local government councils will surrender their sovereignty and melt into one united, indivisible, indissoluble entity. That's what the melting pot says. They will surrender their sovereignties, all the 36 states and over 800 local government councils, in order to guarantee a united, indivisible, indissoluble federation. First pillar. The second pillar, the salad bowl, says, he to whom much is given, much is expected. All the 36 states and the 800 plus local government councils, because of the sacrifice, will have the right to dip their hands into the salad bowl and take their ration relative to what they have contributed into the salad bowl. That is where you have the federation account issue. But we have tinkered with it several times because we want to be our brother's keeper.
Yes, and federal character comes into play.
Now, that was why we weren't very conclusive at the national conference. Because if you say you want to restructure, it is because we have refused to practice what unites us together as a nation, which is federalism. Secondly, all the 36 states of the Federation and the 800 local government councils we have are not expected to be kept with one development or growth path, within a development or growth path, all of them. Each and all of them must develop at its own pace, subject to the financial muscle of a state or local government. What we have been doing is to continue to keep all of them within a single development and growth path.
And try and make them all homogeneous.
We have tinkered with the concept of federalism.
Well, indeed, well, I was almost going to say understandably so, but who is the person doing the understanding? Because what you've just explained here, a lot depends on, as you said, to the extent of your contribution to the salad bowl. Let us continue with that analogy.
That's the second pillar.
Yes, that's the second pillar. You can take from there. Now, this apparently is where the problem is.
It is.
Because some, in this diagram that you've constructed, there are some who know that their contribution has been minimal, and therefore the extent to which they actually extract from that bowl will have to be minimal as well. And then there's someone, the big brother, parroting federal character, unity, united we stand, divided we fall. So we come back to, there are those who go as far as say that this is cheating, in terms of how we relate to our national life. That's another difficult conversation. But when some elders now determine that they need to be discussing restructuring if we are going to survive, and these are not pushovers, these are not people you can dismiss with the wave of a hand who say that it's an important subject. In fact, last week there were instances where we had complaints from some of those elders that their planes were not allowed to take off. They wanted to go to Benue, for instance, to go and meet together and discuss this whole matter. They couldn't get clearance within Nigeria. Their chartered jet couldn't get clearance to land. So who is trying to prevent discussions on federalism, on restructuring, I beg your pardon, and why the need in the open democratic space? Why don't all those views come out, or do you see, are they crying wolf, those that say they were not allowed to meet freely?
You recall in 2015, with my political calculus theory here, what we should expect between 2015 and 2019, which has been on since then till today. I am particularly opposed to restructuring as a person. Because if care is not taken, we will disintegrate. I don't want Nigeria to disintegrate. Some people are looking at it from the narrow standpoint. You recall the last FARC meeting in Abuja ended abruptly. It has to do with the salad bowl. You cannot tinker with the salad bowl without repercussions.
That is the principle of to whom much is given, much can be expected to be taken out.
Yes. People have been tinkering with the salad bowl. And it is now getting to
disadvantage.
Yes, it is now getting to a head that the FARC meeting ended abruptly. It's bad signal for our concept of true federalism. And like I've said times without number, you cannot equate the federal government with the states and the local government. The federal government, under the concept of true federalism, is a mere caretaker of the Commonwealth. The federal government owns no kobo in this country. Mm-hmm. The money, the resources, the wealth of this nation belongs to the 36 states and the 800 plus local government councils. Until we are able to get that point into our minds and heads, mm-hmm. that the Commonwealth called Nigeria belongs to the 36 states and the 800 plus local government councils, not the federal government. The federal government is a mere caretaker, and a caretaker cannot dictate to the landlord who has given him money, job to collect rent.
Okay. When you said earlier that we are tinkering with the salad bowl and all of that, part of it is, I'm sure most of it is because of what you've just said. And that is why people are saying that we do not have true federalism, because it's the opposite. What we're having right now is the opposite of what you're just saying is the ideal.
Of course.
And those who are saying that, well, if this is the way it's going to continue, which you yourself have alluded to, that you cannot be tinkering with things and not expect trouble at the end of the day. They're saying there's another way out. Let's have this conversation and let healthy debate, flow. And let's help ourselves and our general perception of these ideas and thereby know what way to go. If it is too difficult for us to practice what is referred to as true federalism, such as you have enumerated just now, where the federal government doesn't own anything.
Oh, it's not going to be easy.
It's not as simple as that.
Because we are enmeshed into what I call there's a concept I want to bring in now. Mm-hmm. When you practice unitary federalism, this is what we are practicing in Nigeria as of today.
Yes, yes.
And that is not known in the lexicon.
It's a top-bottom kind of federalism.
Yes. There's nothing like unity federalism.
Which is a carryover from the military, some allege.
It is. Mm-hmm. If we are to practice true federalism, the federal government is to collect taxes from the states. The states are the owners of the resources of the Federal Republic. And if you look at the situation in the United States, you cannot see two states developing at the same pace in the United States of America. I challenge you. Mm-hmm. That is what it should be. You must give in for, you must allow for healthy competition and rivalry.
So if we can fix this, then I understand your point of view that there's no need for the conversation on restructuring.
No.
If we can have true federalism. But you've also said it's not as simple as that. And that is why perhaps some people are being impatient and are saying that, how long are we going to wait for? How long are we going to wait for in this unfair situation?
Because we have a duty to keep Nigeria united.
Okay, so that's the sacrifice that needs to be known by all.
Yes.
I understand we have a call from Asaba. We didn't catch the name. Maybe you'll say your name. Good morning, in Asaba.
Yeah, my name is Chieftain, G-L-A-N-K-S-O-N.
Samson. Samson?
Good morning, Glory. My name is Samson.
Good morning. We're glad to have you. Please go ahead.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Prof.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Fine. I'm not Samson. I'm Langston. E-L-A-N-K-S-O-N.
Okay.
Yes, I appreciate the topic this morning. Fine, Prof.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to ask a question, Prof.
Yeah.
No, not Samson. My name is not Samson. It's Langston. E-L-A-N-K-S-O-N.
Lamson.
Yeah.
Okay.
L. Lamson.
D-L-A-N-K-S-O-N.
Okay. Lamson.
Okay. Okay.
Prof mentioned, yes, D-L-A.
PLA.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, what? P for pear? P for what?
Belgium.
Oh, B for Belgium.
Yeah.
Oh.
L for Luxembourg.
Okay, BL.
Yeah.
A. Blamson. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please. Your view is very important. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. I hope we haven't lost you. Oh, dear. I'm so sorry about that. We, sometimes we can't hear us clearly. It sounded like Samson, then you said it's Blamson, and quite frankly, we got confused, and then along the line, we lost the call. But you seem to be appreciating the conversation and wanted to contribute to it. Professor Tunde Samuel, APC chieftain in Lagos, and who was also a member of the 2014 National Conference, as it was referred to at the time, has said that he's made these views, he canvassed these particular views that it's unnecessary to talk about restructuring if we can get the whole matter of true federalism, aka fiscal federalism. That's not what we have now. What we have is an inheritance from the military, and Prof has put forth some interesting analogies, talked about the salad bowl, and you can't touch the salad bowl apart from the extent to which you contributed to it. Now, there is much unfairness there. Aha, did I hear something? Maazi Okorafor, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Yuri.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. You see, this issue we are talking about now, don't you think the problem we have right now in Nigeria is that the situation on ground we have today has nothing to do with that. If we don't restructure, many opposition parties or many people, as they say, that run on the parallel ground will not be comfortable. So it's a high time that we look at your topic rightly said ahead again.
We lost that as well.
Very informative.
But did you caught something there that you like the accent of? What was that, Prof?
Well, he is not opposed to restructuring totally, but he does not believe restructuring is the only thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. That Maazi, that aspect of it, because there's this whole matter about there's the effort that I think every Nigerian, most Nigerians will agree with, the duty to keep us united, to keep us one.
Very important.
That's very, very important. And but where? And
we want to be our brother's keeper. That's why we cannot.
Okay. Peter in Jalingo, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yuri.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in. No. Well, I did tell you at the beginning of the program that it was drizzling in Lagos. Maybe it's raining over at your side, but it's not DSTV now. I thought it is only cable TV that, or Play TV for that matter. But I suppose it's they're telling me that, well, networks are networks in some aspects. We lost that again. I wonder what Peter in Jalingo wanted to say, but maybe he'll be able to get back in again. the whole matter of unfairness as one entity that is known. It's known. We might not want to be overemphasizing that. But then there's also the other duty to keep us one, to keep us united. It was in our old national anthem. It's in this one as well. And the problem perhaps is that we are emphasizing those things that divide us more than those that unite us. Perhaps is that one of the problems? And where would you place the blame? It goes back to the politicians again.
Well, as long as the federal government will want to whip us into one path of growth and development, there will be a problem.
Okay. Let me try Pius in Malali. Good morning, Pius.
Good morning.
Okay.
Uncle, following.
Yori, thank you very much for calling in. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Uncle Yori. Thank you. I am calling you from Kaduna.
Okay.
Restructuring at this point in time in this country, at least, is the most paramount thing that Nigerians should just go about. Because why? Without this restructuring, I'm telling you, we can never regain our own value system. Because the value system of this country is nowhere to be found today. Why? Because of the way we have found ourselves due to ethnicity and religious bigotry. Now, when we restructure, we are going to give less power to the center, and every region is going to continue to control its own region. By so doing, you will see even our own educational sector will come back with full force because let my people go is not going to be in place. And the people that are going to be contesting for anything, the right people will be contesting because they know that there are nobody will give them anything. They have to go and unless the resources, the scarce resources in their own region, to get something out of it, then to come and work for their people. Those people that have nothing upstairs, they will not be vying for political offices. Why? Because of all this restructuring. But the way it stands today now, many people are vying to political offices. Why? Because they know that somebody in Abuja will go and be giving them money. Even if they don't have anything upstairs, they will employ people that they will be managing with money. But if they know that they are the people that are coming to put things, structures, and harness even resources in their area, I'm telling you, those people, if they are not qualified, they will not even go to do that. This is my only little submission this morning. May the Almighty God continue to bless this country and bless our daddy there and bless you, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for calling in. Well, that was our last caller, and he seemed to think that the opposing, the two sides of the argument will affect the quality of representation, political representation we get.
You can see the point I'm making now. One would prefer we get our shopping list within the concept of federalism. Because I cannot see us talking of restructuring outside the concept of federalism.
Okay.
Rather, we must, if we are not satisfied from the way the Nigerian nation is operating now, get our shopping list. Which are the areas? That's why people are not convincing me yet about, people are just talking restructuring. I don't listen again. I want to see what we want to put into, what has gone wrong with the present system, and which areas do we want to restructure. We cannot restructure the entire federal constitution. We cannot.
Okay.
We must have our shopping list.
Indeed. So thank you very much. In fact, this is a conversation we'd like to take. Unfortunately, we couldn't take it from the very top of the hour, but we'll probably do this again because I think there's a lot more meat on this particular bone. But I want to thank you very much, Professor Tunde Samuel, APC chieftain in Lagos State, for coming on and sharing this perspective with us. But it's an incomplete job. Prof, you got to give me your word. We can continue with this conversation. Maybe we can do that, right?
We will.
Thank you very much, Prof. So that's our program for the day and the week. Please join us Monday, 10:30, for the next program. Do have a great weekend. I'm Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.